We're going to try that again, folks. Greetings, friends. It's Josh.
And I'm Ryan.
We're here today on the Dead Tired Dads podcast.
A podcast for gamers who don't have time to game.
And that is what we want to do. We want to provide you with games that you can play that don't take you a lot of time to do. But we also like to share things from our lives about being dads and what that's like and how that goes for us sometimes. And I've got to say, small children can be abusive.
I like where this is going already.
So he's gotten out of it a little bit, but my son has a tendency to just like wail on me.
Yep.
Like whack, like just like slap me on the head, and it's not just like, oh, oops, I hit you. No, it's like it's intent.
Yeah.
Like, and I think he just likes the sound that my head makes. just the smacking of my head, and so like then he'll like end up then he like starts slapping at my face, and he's just like laughing about it the whole time. And so I think that kids are innately abusive, and I
agree.
I think that's I don't know, like it sounds like you've had similar experiences.
I have, and I'm curious. Did you experience this with your daughter or only your son?
I don't remember it with my daughter.
I'm wondering if this is a boy thing.
It's got to be it's almost certainly a boy thing.
Both of mine did it. Yeah.
I mean,
like
maybe
they would think it was funny to slap me in the face.
Maybe, but like I feel like if it happened with her, it did not last long. I feel like with my son, I feel like it's lasted much longer, a longer period of time where he has enjoyed just hitting me.
It's funny to him,
and it's not only like he's not only laughing like while he's doing it, like he gets, you know, as he's intending to do it. It's like this.
He starts giggling, like giving himself.
You know, gears up for it. Yeah. You know, getting ready to start the slap fest. Oh man. But no, he can be sweet too though. Like, you know, he gets to the point where like if he's snuggling up, he'll like, you know, he'll pat, like he'll, you know, if you're holding him, he'll like pat your shoulder, like, you know.
Yep.
And you know, because that's what kids do. But so like they pick up the cute stuff from like, because they know like you pat their back.
True.
Like, so where do they pick up this thing where it's like, hey, it's your head makes a funny sound when I slap it, so I'm gonna do that over and over and over again while you're trying to put me to bed. I
don't know.
So
it's a good question.
I don't know. It's you know, sometimes I question my sanity if like I had something to do with this. Like, where did I cause this? So.
I almost went with the answer of original sin, but then I thought we'd go like way off the deep end with theology, and you know, so
this is not a theology podcast.
So I didn't go with that answer.
Although it could be.
It could be.
We could turn it into a theology podcast.
We could.
You know, I don't know how that would go.
Another good idea.
Yeah.
We always have good ideas on this show.
We do. I don't know. I don't know that one would work. There are probably too many theology podcasts out there. There aren't that many podcasts out there for gamers who don't have time to game.
That's true.
So we're in a niche market. It's
all about finding your niche.
We're in a niche market here, and if only our niche would find us.
We found the niche.
We found the niche. The niche needs to come.
Hasn't found us.
They need to come to us now.
Yep.
Oh man, you know, it's good. It's good. So, what about you, Ryan? I mean, like I said, it sounds like you've had experience with your kids hitting you. What any other fun experiences with your kids that like you think is unique or not unique, just funny?
Well, so you're talking about your son like slapping you. We have two boys. And it's interesting to me how different they are.
Mm-hmm.
Because our oldest is very soft-spoken and reserved and shy. And our youngest, our 3-year-old, is like a wild man. And he will the reason I thought of this is because you were talking about your son slapping. Our 3-year-old will walk up to the 7-year-old and just haul off and slug him for no reason. Like, the 7-year-old could be sitting there quietly reading a book, and the 3-year-old just walks over and just punches him right in the chest.
How do you discipline that? Like,
well, my urge is to do it back to him, but I can't do that, obviously. But again, it goes back to that, like, you asked the question, where does that come from?
Yeah.
He's never seen me punch anybody, so where does that come from?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just this desire to hurt people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just like he's...
And I don't know. I don't think it's a desire to hurt people. I think it's just a, hey, like, this is what you do as a man. You, like, it's just in us.
And it's like, I would just... Because I'm the oldest sibling. I don't have any older siblings. So I'm wondering, is this a younger sibling thing? Is it he just want to, like, hurt his older brother, or...
That's a good question. See, I'm the youngest, but I didn't have...
You didn't have brothers.
I didn't have brothers, so...
Yeah.
Probably trying to assert dominance.
This is my territory.
This is my house.
Oh, man.
That Stewie Griffin meme.
Oh, my gosh.
He has to prove himself worthy.
Yeah, so it's just interesting to me, like, how different kids can be, because I've got one who's very quiet, very reserved, and one who's, he's
not ready for Mortal Kombat like your younger son.
Our youngest tests my patience.
Well, he's ready for Mortal Kombat. He's prepared. He recognizes that, like, this whole thing, like, he's got to assert himself and be dominant and take over. And,
my.
He'll be ruling the world through that domination.
That's what my wife says. She says we have to control it and teach him to be a leader. That's exactly what she says. So,
well,
maybe so.
That's similar with my daughter. Like, my daughter is, not in the sense that she'd walk up and hit somebody, but she is very much the strong-willed child.
Yeah.
Just like, no, I'm going to do it this way, and this is what we're going to do, and I'm going to have my way. And just like, honey, you can't do that. You need to back off, child. But no, and that's 100% the thing, and where it's just like, okay, at some point, like, this is going to serve her well.
Yeah.
So I don't want to not have her do this.
I don't want to crush it entirely.
I don't want to crush this,
yeah.
But... like, because I want her to be assertive. I want her to be, like, outspoken. Like, I don't want her to, I don't know, to be, walked over. So, like, we have to control this and guide this assertiveness. So
rein that a certain direction.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyway, that's kids for you, though.
Kids are fun.
Kids are fun. Kids are weird, as we've talked about
kids
many times.
Kids are weird. No doubt about it.
Times. So... well, do you want to go ahead and start with your review this week?
Yes, I will. This will be an interesting one. I'm not sure how long I can talk about it. Talk about things that don't fit in this podcast.
Okay.
I mentioned in the past that another one of the hobbies that I enjoy is hunting.
Right.
I like hunting. I like camping. I like being outside. So, surprise, surprise! I played Game Pass again.
Game Pass. They really should, like. We are giving them so much free advertising.
Just all 15 of our listeners are getting so much press about Game Pass. Can't believe they haven't sponsored us yet.
Right.
So I saw a game on there the other day called The Hunter Call of the Wild. And I have actually heard other hunters talk about this game before. So I was like, all right, I'll check it out. I'm into that scene. So sure, I'll check it out.
Call of the Wild.
The best way I can categorize is a hunting simulation game.
Hunting simulation.
I don't want to go so far as simulation because it's not quite like Lawnmower Simulator where you're like business logo and all that stuff.
I was going to ask, you like have to go buy your camo beforehand?
So you don't have to go buy your camo. You already have it to start the game.
Got your
and
camo.
You already have your gun and all that stuff.
Okay, you already have your gun. Now,
Yeah.
The next question is, Do you get up? Do you have to get up at 4 a.m. in the morning before you can play this game? And then
No, you don't have to do that.
okay, you
either.
don't have to do that.
Yeah.
Okay, one more question.
Okay, I got you.
Do you have to sit for like 4 hours to like see one thing and then shoot it?
It's not 4 hours, but it
Okay.
is longer than most people are gonna like want for a video
Okay,
game. Yeah.
there you go. So it's not exactly a hunting simulator, but it's close.
Yeah. So let me put it to answer your question. I played the game for about 2 or 3 hours, and I shot 2 deer.
Wow.
Now, if you're not a hunter and you hear that, you're like, you played for 3 hours and shot your gun twice. That sounds terrible.
Right.
If you're a hunter and you hear 3 hours, 2 deer, you're like, that's the best day of hunting
Oh,
ever.
sure.
So, make of that what you will. But that was actually one of my things about this game. It felt pretty realistic. I mean, as realistic as you can make a hunting game.
Sure.
Because, one, like you said, I didn't have to get up at 4 in the morning. I didn't have to walk several miles. I didn't have to sit out in the cold, so...
And, you didn't have to buy your camo.
That's true. I didn't have to buy camo. So, like,
I'm-
as much as you can make it realistic, it felt pretty real.
I'm actually disappointed.
You wanted it to be a struggle.
I wanted you to have to buy your camo. Sorry, I interrupted.
So, it felt pretty realistic in terms of like a hunting game. But your average gamer is not going to want to, that's not the payoff they're looking for,
Yeah.
I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to judge the game because most hunting games, if you've ever played like Cabela's is famous for
Right.
making a ton of hunting games.
Yeah.
Those are fun games,
The arcade games.
but they're very much like they are almost run and gun hunting, which
Right.
is just it's fun, but that's arcade hunting. That's
Right.
not hunting.
right.
But they're fun games.
Well, it's like the zombie hunting games. Like that's not. I mean, everyone wants to hunt zombies, right? But like, it's not really.
I actually thought video game were for preparing us for the zombie apocalypse, so that we know how to do it.
It's
when
not
the time
really
comes.
hunting zombies when you're sorry.
And like the other one, the Big Buck Hunter or whatever it is, where there's
Yes.
like 30 deer running across the screen.
Right.
Those are they're fun, but they're so silly if you are really into hunting, because it's like that never happens.
Although that would be that's the dream, right?
Yeah, the dream would be that you're sitting out in a farm with your AR-15 and there's a herd of them running in front of you, but that's not how it goes. So I don't know. I really don't know how to judge this game. There were some things that I had a lot of fun with, like it was really pretty scenery, which part of what I enjoy is like being outside, and I enjoy that. I played it with my surround sound turned on,
Okay.
which was pretty cool because I could hear like the birds behind me, and like there was one time where a coyote was off in the distance howling, and so it sounded really cool.
Yeah, sure.
So that was fun. My bottom line is if you want a hunting game, if you want to get just the smallest taste of what hunting is like, this is better than most. It's better than Cabela's. It's better than Big Buck Hunter. But it's just not, unless you're really into hunting, it's not going to be something you enjoy.
Right. Yeah, it does not sound like something that I would even think.
And
to
even
play.
me, I got to a point where I was like, you know what? I think I'd just rather be hunting or playing
Right.
a video game. I'm in this weird limbo. I want to do one or the other.
Right.
So,
Right. So.
If you are like this crazy avid outdoorsman who thinks like in your off season you need to be strategizing and preparing by doing hunting simulations, yeah, sure, play this game. But otherwise, I just don't think many people...
Prepare yourself for a hunting season by playing Hunting Simulator.
Avid hunters will enjoy this. No one else will. So
Which is why it's for free on Game Pass.
That's why it's free on Game Pass. Yeah,
Because no one will
Pretty
play
much.
it. Okay. Well, that is Hunter Simulator.
It's called The Hunter Call of the Wild.
Call of the Wild. See, I
Yeah.
was expecting more things in the Arctic, with the Call of the Wild in there. Or is that Alaska?
That's another thing that actually...
Where does that book take place? Sorry.
That's another thing that, kind of, I won't say frustrated me, but I guess I did play it on Game Pass, so I can't complain too much. But the base game there's when you first load it up, you get all these choices of these really cool places that you can hunt. And my not simulated but real life dream hunt would be in Alaska, in the mountains of Alaska. That's if I can ever go on one dream hunt, that's where I want to go. So that's my thought is I'm going to choose somewhere in Alaska. Well, that was like hidden behind the DLC that you have to pay for. And I was like, come on.
So So Call of the Wild, our research department just let me know.
Boom. Look how fast they are.
They are quick.
They're good.
Is in Canada. So
there you go.
So I'm disappointed that it doesn't take place in Canada.
Yeah.
Like you can't. You're just gonna tack on Call of the Wild onto your game just because. I mean, what's the purpose? Was there a previous version that was not Call of the Wild? Was there an older?
Not
version
that
of the
I'm
Hunter?
aware of, but there could be.
Okay,
yeah.
that just seems weird to just tack that on. Like,
yeah.
Why not just call it the Hunter?
The Hunter.
Or the Hunter Simulator. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, beside the point. So, yeah.
So there you go.
Okay, so don't play the Hunter Call of the Wild if you don't want to like pretend like you're going hunting.
Yeah.
And staring at a screen waiting for a deer to come into view. So
yeah, no, don't do it.
Okay. Good deal. So I played a game, and so this is this kind of brings out a little bit of a nerdy side of me.
Oh, here we go.
That I don't often talk about because I'm not like super into it, but I enjoy it enough. So I played Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
I'm actually very curious about that game. It looks fun.
It is also on Game Pass. So
hey!
we're back to Game Pass.
Yay!
So I'd been when this game first came out, I was like, oh man, a Dragon Ball Z like fighter game, like that would be super cool. Like that should be a lot of fun. I want to play that, and I just hadn't had an opportunity. I didn't want to like spend money on it.
Right.
I wasn't that interested in it, but it's on Game Pass, so I was like, hey,
why not
get an opportunity to play it? So, first things first, you have the option of playing it online or offline. If you play it online, you've got a bunch of other people in the lobby with you that you can.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do a lot online because I didn't do really anything online because I wasn't about to go play against someone who's been playing this game for a
10-year-old
2 years,
who's been playing forever,
and get my butt kicked.
Yeah, no.
So I wasn't about to do that, but I did sign into the online lobby just to see what it was like.
Mm-hmm.
First thing, before you can get into the online lobby, it pops up with an end user agreement.
All right, good. Always a good start.
And most of the time you can just kind of go yes, agree, and skip that.
Yeah.
No, you have to scroll to the bottom of the end user agreement, and this is not like this was a long end user. Like you literally have to scroll all the way to the bottom. So did that,
and no one reads that. They just scroll to the bottom.
Yeah, no, did that, and then you're like, okay, good deal. And then it pops up with a privacy policy,
which you have to scroll.
Which again, you have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then you finally get to log in. So that was like a first thing that I was like, okay, this is stupid. So like that was real, like that really aggravated me. Like,
Josh got lost at the end user.
Yeah, I was very aggravated. So, but after that, I get in there, and there are different places where you can go, different things you can do within the Dragon Ball Z kind of world. You can go, to different fights, and you can do 3-on-3 kind of thing, where you pick 3 different fighters for yourself, and like I said, all I ever did was play against the computer. And just a bunch of different places you can go, things to unlock and things to do that are just fun. But there is a storyline as well, like a story mode that you can kind of play through. So that was the first thing that I went to. That was basically mostly what I did, was play through the story. And another thing that happened from there that annoyed me was that it defaults to Japanese with it defaults to Japanese with subs. I am not like, I like some animes.
Yeah.
I do not like. I am a sub I'm like sub free. Like I don't want subtitles.
Oh yeah.
On
No,
I want the dubbed version. Like give me dubs like
100%.
every single day, because I don't have time to like spend my time like trying to read. What's like I want to like see what's happening or be able to do like if I want to do something else, I want to still know what's going on. Anyway, beside the point. It defaults to Japanese, and for the longest time, I didn't realize that you could even turn on the English dub.
Yeah.
And I was like very frustrated because like I want the people that I want the voices that I recognize, the people that I know doing this. Like, were they not able to get that? Like, what's going on? But you can go into the settings and change it to the English dub. So just if you do want to play it, there is a way to get the English dub on there. So, the story for the story mode is pretty stupid. And they've got to have an explanation for why the characters are, why certain characters are not able to beat other certain, like, if Krillin beats Frieza, that doesn't really make any sense, right? If you know anything about Dragon Ball Z.
I was going to say I do not, but the way you said it, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it's if you know Dragon Ball Z, that makes sense. If you don't, it doesn't, but that's okay. So basically, like, all of the fighters have lost their powers, but you are like this spirit that takes over and fights for them.
Oh, I see.
And there's this weird thing that's happening, and there's this main antagonist that you're trying to go through and beat. So if you're familiar at all with any of the Dragon Ball Z storylines, it makes some sense, but it also makes no sense. Like, it tries to pull in everyone from every single story, which it has to, because you want all the fighters available. Right. But it's it's a silly concept, really.
Yeah.
And basically, it's Mortal Kombat.
Ah, okay.
So you've got different button combinations that will do different moves, and you try to build as big as combos as you can. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
It can be fun. The thing is, like, I hate Mortal Kombat. Like,
Me too, actually.
I'm not a fan of those types of fighting games. I like the idea of them.
Yep.
But I get so frustrated that, like, I don't do the button combination just so, and so I can't do the cool combo or do the cool thing. And so, like, there are some things that they put in there that are just really easy for you to do. And so you can do that and, beat the easiest kind of stuff doing those things. So that gets kind of repetitive, and it shows the same animations over and over and over and over again, and you're just doing the same moves over and over and over again because they're easy. And I didn't get, like I said, like super far into it. I played through, like, there's, I can't remember if there's 3 or 4, but there's a couple of different, like, chunks of the story. And I played through, like, the first chunk of the first arc, the story arc that's available. Like, I played through the first one and beat it. But so I don't know if, like, it teaches you more as you go along, but you really have to know. Like, how those games work and what kind of game you're getting into. So for me, I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. It was fun to see the animations and do the moves in the game.
Yeah.
To have it. But overall, like I said, just because it's not my kind of game, it wasn't really up my alley. So it's a very niche game. Like, if you're a fan of Dragon Ball Z, you'll enjoy certain aspects of it. If you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, you'll enjoy, or any of those kind of fighting like Street Fighter type games.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy certain aspects of it. If you're a fan of both, like, this is, like, totally, like, you'd love this game.
Yeah.
But for me and for probably most of our listeners, I would say it's probably not. I could be wrong. I mean, maybe we've got some Street Fighters out there. But probably not for you.
Yeah. I was going to ask, how much do you need to know, like, about Dragon Ball Z to enjoy this game?
Um,
Because I've watched exactly one anime ever called Sword Art Online. That's the only anime I've ever watched. So
it really does just kind of throw you into the world of Dragon Ball Z. Like, you've just got these characters. You are expected to know who they like. It does not give you any kind of introduction to any of them. Like, you are expected to know who everyone is, what everyone like, how people are related, and how like who is who and what's what, and so like,
which I get from a developer standpoint.
Yeah,
because like if you are sitting down choosing to play a Dragon Ball Z game, they're probably assuming you're familiar with the show.
Right, and that's absolutely what they did. And I don't think, like I said, I don't think if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball Z, I don't see why you would want to play. Like I said, if you're a fan of like the Street Fighter games or Mortal Kombat or anything like that, there are definitely things in there for you that you would like, but it's not like you're going to want to play that game because if you want to play Mortal Kombat, you're going to play Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's one of those games where I'm just like, I found myself drawn to like keep playing it, even though I wasn't like necessarily enjoying it.
I have to do this.
It's just, I just wanted to, there's something about, for me, like there's something about those characters. Like, and again, like this is like super, like this super nerd side of me that I don't talk about. Like I don't talk about the person that likes, like the Josh that likes Dragon Ball Z. He's like way recessed inside my psyche. I don't know. And just something about that, takes me back to 8th grade.
Yes. See, I had that for a long time with Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was like 6th, 7th grade. Oh, this isn't cool anymore. Right. And then when I became an adult and got married and had kids, it was like, oh, wait, I don't have to care if anyone thinks this is cool or not. You know what? Because, like, I'm 35 years old and I don't need, I don't need that person's locker next to me thinking I'm cool or not.
Right.
So.
Well, it's not even that I don't know. It's just so cheesy and so like ridiculous that like at times that you're just like, why am I watching this? And like, I don't know what it is about it that I'm just like, I want to watch this. I can't tell you why. I know that at the end of the episode, something crazy is going to happen and it's going to end, and they're going to come back next time and then it's going to be like 30 minutes of them powering up in the next episode, and like nothing's going to happen. It's going to flash to something else outside of the fight.
I never watched it. I remember its popularity. My younger brother watched it, but I don't. And I don't have anything against it. I just never... Yeah. Well, never saw it, never got into it.
So, yeah. But anyway, like I said, so it tries to pull in, like, all the characters from even, like, the most recent series, which was Dragon Ball Super. So, like, everyone is kind of involved in it, and you can unlock all the different characters and do all kinds of different moves. I didn't, obviously I didn't play with everyone. I, played with the main characters that I liked. And, fun game for sort of... can be fun, but probably not something that I'm gonna like go back to, because it just takes. The thing with those kinds of fighting games, and like I'm bouncing around all over the place. Welcome to Josh's world. The thing with those fighting games that just always annoyed me is just like I'm expected to remember like 20 different
every
combos and everything has to be so precise, and if anything is wrong, like whoever you're playing against can, like, if you do any one thing wrong, like you could be dead in an instant.
Yep.
And it's just like, this is ridiculous. So like, I don't know, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Fighter Z, whatever it is, like I don't like those kinds of fighting games.
I don't enjoy them, and it's primarily because I am just not good at them.
And that's mostly what it is. Like,
the first fighting game I ever played was Street Fighter 2 Turbo on Super Nintendo, and my brother just routinely destroyed me. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking like, I'm not even getting a hit on him. I'm just getting annihilated. And it's like, oh, this is pretty fun if you like losing.
If you like losing constantly.
Yeah. I'm just not any good at him. I don't know what it is. It's not my genre.
It's just so hard to get good at them. Like, because you have to, especially if like you're playing against someone who knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like, they're not gonna tell you what to do. They're just gonna beat the crap out of you.
Yep.
Like, that's.
Yep.
Especially as kids, like, that's what
not gonna help you get better.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Like, you have to figure out, like, you somehow are expected to figure out, like, the combinations and what buttons do what, like.
Yeah.
Now, I do remember in Street Fighter 2, E. Honda, the sumo wrestler guy.
Yes.
Like, I figured out his like, one of his special moves was just, like, moving his arms up and down.
Yes, where it goes up and... You guys can't see us, but we're doing the motion where he moves his arms up and down.
And he just, like, pushes people... It just, like, pushes, like, people back. And so I figured that move out. And
I could sometimes win with him.
I would just spam... I would just spam with that move over and over and over again.
I feel like it was the Y button.
Yeah.
Does that sound right to you? I just feel like I mashed the Y button on my Super Nintendo controller.
You had to do something with the direction. Like, it had to be a directional thing and then another button. And then, so yeah, I would just, like, if I would play that game, I'd get him and I would just spam that.
I wish we had cameras right now
because
people could see us, like, waving our arm.
Just spam that move over and over again, because it was basically undefendable. At least with the people that I was playing against, I'm sure someone out there knows how to defeat it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the Hunter Call of the Wild is not a good game, and Dragon Ball Fighter Z is also not really a good game. So last week we gave you 2 games that you could play that were both good, that you could play quickly and be done with. And this week we've given you 2 games to completely avoid, unless you are a very particular type of person.
We did somehow manage to find, like, this tiny little niche for both of our games this week.
Yeah. So there you go. That's going to do it for this episode of the Dead Tired Dads podcast. You should do all of the things.
Do all the things.
And like, subscribe, share, follow, whatever it is, wherever you're at. And we will catch you next time on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.